If you want a new idea, read an old book. It's from the book Think Like a Monk by Jayshetty. The book has 3 parts. Part 1, Let Go. Part 2, Grow. Part 3, Give. Part 1 has 4 parts: identity, negativity, fear, intention. The question is, why should we think like monks? If you wanted to know how to dominate the basketball court, then go to Michael Jordan. If you want to know how to innovate, you might investigate Elon Musk. And if you want to know how to perform, then study Beyoncé. But if you want to train your mind to find peace, calm, purpose, and meaning, then monks are the expert. And why should not we learn from the calmest, happiest, most purposeful people on the earth? Maybe you are thinking it's easy for monks to be calm, serene, and relaxed, but it's not. Becoming a monk is a mindset that anyone can adopt. And for this, you don't need to light candles in your home, walk around barefoot, or post photos of yourself doing some tree pose or mountain top. First of all, monks were not born monks. They are the people from all sorts of backgrounds who have chosen to transform themselves. Matthew Richard, the world's happiest man, was a biologist in his former life. Today's our culture and media always feed us images and concepts about who and what we should be, while holding up models of accomplishment and success. But fame, money, glamour, sex, in the end, none of these things can satisfy us. We'll simply seek more and more, and that leads to a life full of frustration, disillusion, dissatisfaction, unhappiness, and exhaustion. The goal of monk thinking is a life where ego, envy, lust, anxiety, anger, bitterness, baggage. There is 2 types of mind. The one is the monk mindset, the other is, as referred, the monkey mindset. Our mind can either elevate us or pull us down, and today we all struggle with overthinking, procrastination, anxiety as a result of indulging the monkey mind. The difference between the monkey mind and the monk mind. Monkey mind, overwhelmed by multiple branches. Monk mind, focus on the root of the issue. Monkey mind, complains, compares, criticizes. Monk mind, compassionate, caring, collaborative. Monkey mind, overthinks and procrastinates. Monk mind, analyzes and articulates. Monkey mind, distracted by small things. Monk mind is disciplined. Monkey mind, demanding and entitled. Monk mind, enthusiastic, determined, patient. Monkey mind changes on a whim. Monk mind commits to a mission, vision, or goal. Monkey mind amplifies negative and fear. Monk mind works on breaking down negative and fear. Monkey mind self-centered and obsessed. Monk mind self-care for self-service. Monkey mind controlled by anger, worry, and fear. Monk mind controls and engages energy wisely. Monkey mind does whatever feels good. Monk mind seeks self-control and mastery. Monkey mind looks for pleasure and for temporary fixes, while monk mind looks for meaning and genuine solution. Identity. It is better to live your own destiny imperfectly than to live an imitation of somebody else's life with perfection. Bhagavad Gita. We are all trying to live up to what we think others think of us, even at the expense of our own values. The only triple best actor, Oscar winner Daniel Day-Lewis, was employing a technique called method acting, which requires the actor to live as much as like his character as possible in order to the role he is playing. Though it is an incredible art, but it's not good for physical or mental health. Our families, friends, society, media, we are all surrounded by images and voices telling us who we should be and what we should be. The only way to build a meaningful life is to filter out the noise and look within. Senior monk Gauranga Das offered the author Jayshetty a beautiful metaphor to illustrate the external influences that obscure our true selves. Senior monk explained, your identity is a mirror covered with dust. When you first look in the mirror, the truth of who you are and what your value is obscured. Clearing it may not be pleasant, but only when that dust is gone can you see your true reflection. Values. Everyone is born into a certain set of circumstances, and our values are defined by what we experiencing. Are we born into hardship or luxury? Does we receive praise? Our education are another powerful influence, and that subject we are taught, the cultural angle, all of this. When we tune out the opinions, expectations, obligations of the world around us, then we begin to hear ourselves. You have to audit your life on the basis of time, media, and money. What we do with our spare time shows what we value. Media choices feel casual, but time reflects your values. Now you can look at the money you spend to see the values by which you live. What was your biggest investment this month? Does your spending correspond to what matters most to you? When you are not alone, surround yourself with people who fit well with your values. It helps to find a community that reflects who you want to be, a community that looks like the future you want. 2. Negativity. The senior monk Gauranga Das taught author Jayshetty cancers of the mind, comparing, complaining, and criticizing. When we criticize others, we can't help but notice the bad in ourselves. But when we look for the good in others, we start to see the best in ourselves too. As Buddha advised, do not give your attention to what others do or fail to do. Give it to what you do or fail to do. Negativity is everywhere. But nobody wakes up and thinks, how can I be mean to or about other people today? Still, negativity often comes from within. Remember, the more negative your attitude, the more likely you are to have a negative attitude in the future. There are 7 types of negative people in our life. First, complainers, who complain endlessly without looking for solution. 2. Cancelers, who take compliment and spin it. 3. Casualties, who think the world is against them, blame their problems on others. 4. Critics, who judge others. 5. Commanders, who realize their own limits but pressure others to succeed. 6. Competitors, who compare themselves to others. 7. Controllers, who monitor and try to direct how their friends and partners spend time. Author says, Senior monk Gauranga Das in the ashram reminded all the monks that everyone had different sickness and everyone was still learning. Just as we would not judge anyone else's health problem, we should not judge someone who sinned differently. Don't judge someone with a different disease, and don't expect anyone to be perfect, and don't think you are perfect. To reverse external negativity, there are some ways. First, become an objective observer. We have to step away, not literally but emotionally, and look at the situation as if we are not in the middle of it. Back slowly away. The Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh writes, letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition of happiness. 25/75 principle. It should be that 75% of your time is spent with the people who inspire you rather than bring you down. Allocate time. If you can't remove, to regulate how much time you allow a person to occupy based on their energy. And don't be a savior. Don't attempt to fix a problem unless you have the necessary skill. It is easy to blame others, but you have to reverse your internal negativity. Purifying our own thoughts will protect us from the influence of others. When we find ourselves judging others, we should take note. To purify our thoughts, monk talked about the process, where awareness is defined as spot a feeling or issue. Addressing is referred as stop to understand what it is. And third, amending, which is referred as swap in a new way of processing the moment. When we limit our negative speech, we may find that we have a lot less to say. Australian community worker Neil Birmingham said, the grass is greener where you water it. Criticizing someone else's work ethic does not make you work harder. Judgment creates an illusion, and if you see well enough to judge, then you must be better. Here the author says about mudita. Mudita is the principle of taking sympathetic or unselfish joy in the good fortune of others. You don't need to worry about someone taking your place. There is no limit. Everyone who wants to enjoy, he can enjoy mudita, and there is no fear of missing out. Here author says about Sama. Sama is Sanskrit for forgiveness. Forgiveness is primarily an action we take within ourselves. Revenge is the mode of ignorance, and it's often said that you can't fix yourself by breaking someone else. Here the author talks about 4 transformational forgiveness. On the scale of forgiveness, the bottom is 0 forgiveness. When we say, I'm not going to forgive that person no matter what, then we are still stuck in anger. Now, the next step is conditional forgiveness. If they apologize, then I will apologize. The next step is something called transformational forgiveness. This is the forgiveness in the mode of goodness. When you say, I forget you and accept nothing back. And the fourth one is the higher level, unconditional forgiveness. When you think, I forgive you no matter what you did. Forgiveness has shown to bring peace to our minds, and forgiveness actually conserves our energy. Forgiveness is a two-way street. As the author says, the less time you fixate on everyone else, the more time you have to focus on yourself. We can use fear to get to the best of us. We waste a lot of time and energy trying to stay in the comfortable position. We fear the stresses and challenges of change, but those what makes us strong. One have to accept their fear, walk towards your fear, find your fear patterns. The cause of fear is attachment, and the cure of fear is detachment. Imagine you are driving a luxury rental car and you know you have only 1 week to enjoy it. Then this allows you to enjoy it more. We actually suffer more in our imagination than reality. We have to focus on what is instead of what if. Instead of judging the moment, one needed to accept the situation. 4. Intention. You have to understand the reason behind your intention. What do you want? If you only want the outcome, or you are curious about what you might learn from the process. Jim Carrey once said, I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. The author says success equals happiness, but this idea is illusion. The Sanskrit word for illusion is Maya. Jayshetty says success does not guarantee happiness, and happiness does not require success. Material gratification is external, but happiness is internal. Author says we all have different goals, but we all want the same things: a life full of joy and meaning. The author says about the why letter. You have to dig to the deepest why behind the want. Once you know why behind the want, consider the work behind the want. The focus is on the process, not the outcome. According to the Desert Father monks, we do not make progress because we do not realize how much we can do. We lose interest in the work we have begun, and we want to be good without even trying. The best way to fulfill your intention is to look for a role models. Focus specially on what they did at your stage in order to get where they are now.